monthly meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have walked in your shoes. I have owned and sold several businesses. I will be your mentor and tormentor to move you forward. When you have issues or opportunities that keep you awake at night, where do you get your help? Pro boards give support and non-biased feedback from your peers. To sample a free Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting, email ray@propres.com. That's ray@propres.com. ray@propres.com. There's no charge and no commitment to attend.
What is your dream? Do you want to achieve it? Do you know how? What if you did? Zen Benefiel is the Chief Possibilities Coagulator with Be the Dream, Transformational Life Coaching, and Professional Services. He'll help you put your dream to paper and process, removing the liabilities, limitations, and excuses in your challenge to change. Changing your outlook and perspectives opens your experience to opportunity and success. Visit BeTheDream.com and make an appointment with Zen. You'll be amazed with the results.
Hey, good evening and welcome to Two Small Biz Guys right here at the KFNX studio here in Phoenix, Arizona with Zen Benefiel and
Ray Silverstein,
the ultimate tormentor.
Oh, we're going to get into that. Wait till our guest comes in.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin tonight, so you're going to have plenty of time to be tormentative.
Is that 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits a dollar?
Yeah, something like that. Well, actually, we're talking millions in this case, which is a Satoshi. We'll find out more about that in a minute. But first, Bitcoin is an odd concept. Now, this is from the Wall Street Journal. A currency not issued by any government or central bank, but instead existing on a decentralized network of computers around the world. Transactions to buy and sell Bitcoin are entered in an open ledger that is quickly verified and updated. So this seems like it's just available anywhere, everywhere, at your corner market, and even beyond. And with that, we're going to welcome Morpheus Titania here in the studio, who's going to tell us a little bit more about what Bitcoin is. So, Morpheus, over to you. What the heck is Bitcoin? We hear a lot about it. There's lots of talk. A lot of people are skittish, but yet it seems to be viable, even a bit, the Wall Street Journal's writing about it. So it's in black and white. It's got to be real.
Well, there's other people that are writing about it, too. There's articles in all kinds of magazines that are writing about this technology that, in my estimation, is going to change the world that we live in. Just like the smelter changed the world we lived in when we went from barter into the Iron Age and being able to trade in gold and silver, and the printing press was able to change reality from going from gold and silver into paper money. We are now in the information age.
And digital currency.
And with it comes a new kind of money that separates us from a geopolitical banking style money that's controlled geopolitically and by a bunch of criminals in the banking business.
Well, it really makes sense that with the global village, that there's this new potential global currency that is available in and through the internet, which we're all connected to anyway, or most of us anyway.
But couldn't somebody else also create this digital global currency and just call it whatever they want to call it?
Yeah, they do. They're called altcoins, and these are maybe coins you might have heard of called Dogecoin or NXT or Dash. They are different modifications to this concept.
No Ubers or Lyfts?
I'm sorry?
No Ubers or Lyfts?
Not that I know of, but there's quite a few. I mean, I think there's probably at least 600 of them.
I just wonder if they're just going to take you for a ride.
No, there probably could be. I mean, anyone actually can create their own cryptocurrency, and then it's just a matter of marketing it to the people who are going to be processing the transactions.
Isn't it called free issuance? Isn't that the principle that it's based on?
Yeah, you could say that. It's anyone can create their own. It's the software for Bitcoin is what they call open source. So anyone can take the code, and you can take the code and say, oh, I want to change this. Instead of 21 million, I want to make it 100 million. Or if I want to make the transactions get processed faster, I can process them in using a different type of technology. It's just that Bitcoin is far and away the largest one of all of them. I mean, if you took all the other cryptocurrencies and added them up, it still wouldn't even be, I don't even think it'd be 10% of the total value of what Bitcoin is.
So how do people become aware and are willing to accept using a Bitcoin in a transaction or for compensation?
Well, I do it all the time. I meet people, I talk to them about Bitcoin, I open up a wallet for them, and then I ask them to give me some money, and then they give me some money, and I trade them some Bitcoins.
What is a wallet?
Well, wallet there's lots of different ones. I prefer the ones that are located on your phone. I like my favorite one is one that's called Mycelium, but it's kind of like the difference between Ford and Chevy and Porsche and Mercedes. Is what do you like? One person might like Mercedes better than Porsche or Fiat better than anything else. It's just a personal preference. And for me, for what I do, I prefer the personal preference of Mycelium. And there are other great wallets out there. There's Airbits is another great wallet. There's
I think
many
we got a caller coming in here that I'm getting a signal from the control booth. So we've actually got our first caller this evening.
Nice.
Without giving out the number, that's even amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I did do a little posting prior to, so somebody might call in that saw the ad.
All right, so let's see who we've got on the line. Hello?
Hi, this is Ninja.
Oh, Ninja, how's it going, buddy?
How you doing, Morpheus?
I'm doing awesome. You must have saw my ad somewhere, huh?
Oh yeah, man. We're the owners here at Classic Crust Pizza, and we're one of the few places in town that accept Bitcoin every day for pizza and beer.
So when you get these, what do you do since you accept them for beer and everything else?
We just run it through our point of sale and accept it on our Mycelium wallet, and we treat it just like any other transaction. For us, it's a nice low-cost alternative to credit cards, where I'm spending $1,200, $1,500 every month to the credit card companies for processing payments for food. With Bitcoin, I'm not paying anything.
So
for me as a merchant, I'd rather accept Bitcoin than credit cards or even cash.
So when you get these Bitcoins, what do you use them to buy supplies or other alternatives or whatever you want to do with them?
So I typically use them to buy advertising and print services. There's some folks here in town that accept Bitcoin for that, and I use that to further my business that way. We've used them for doing door hanging and having the guys hold signs, spent Bitcoin on that. So I do the best I can to keep that Bitcoin circulating in our local economy.
So, Morpheus, is there a directory of where I could use Bitcoins in transactions?
There's quite a few of them. The one I like to recommend to people, it's easiest to use, is one that's called Airbits, AIRBITZ.co, and they have a directory on there. And it's not like it's a lot of businesses are taking it, but the ones that are taking it, it's like playing soccer. First toe to the ball wins. And as it continues to expand, it's like I have $4,000 worth of Bitcoins on my phone. And if there's a merchant that takes Bitcoin versus there's a merchant that doesn't, guess where I'm going? I'm going to go to the merchant that takes Bitcoin, like going to Classic Crust Pizza.
Classic Crust Pizza.
Yeah. So where are you located at, Ninja?
We are at Cactus and Cave Creek in North Phoenix.
All right. So you're the Ninja pizza maker, huh?
Yeah.
That means he's very fast.
He spins dough.
So
it's
right.
all hand tossed, by hand, real pizza, good stuff.
So if I came in with U.S. dollars, would you rather have Bitcoins or U.S. dollars?
Personally, I'd rather have the Bitcoin.
Is that because it goes up in value, huh?
It has that great possibility of going up in value astronomically, where the dollar, I'm pretty sure they're printing them like they're going out of style and are just going to go down in value thanks to inflation.
So as we were talking right before we came on the air, Bitcoins are actually, you're not trading or accepting an entire Bitcoin, are you? You're only accepting fractions
I'm just accepting
of them.
however much value in Bitcoin, however many millibits it takes to make up the the value at the current exchange rate.
Okay, and is that something that you keep track of and on a moment-to-moment basis?
Yep, it's all built into the wallet application,
Okay.
so it's really, really easy to use.
So let me ask you, in an aspect of liquidity, as being a user and recipient of Bitcoins, does this have a problem with liquidity and you're paying bills? And since not everybody takes Bitcoins, if you had too much...
Not at all. It's very, very easy to convert to U.S. dollars. A lot of merchants will accept it and convert it immediately. I personally am more of an activist, so I don't convert it. I try to spend it and keep it in the Bitcoin economy. So it's a little different role, but there's no risk to a merchant for accepting Bitcoin.
And you don't mind being seen in public?
Not at all.
Yeah.
So Morpheus, after hearing Ninja's comments, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'd just like to explain that, like, for example, let's say you had a $20 pizza, and today's current market pricing, you would be looking at 0.0528 Bitcoins as be what would be exchanged. And the current market price right now looks like $378.61, which is up from $220 about a month ago. So anyone who had Bitcoins a month ago has now roughly doubled their money, and it touched $500 a couple days ago. So
okay, we got another caller on the line here. So Ninja, thanks for the call. We're going to move right along here. And next caller, who are you, and what would you like to ask or comment about?
My name is Jill, and I was just wondering about the transaction process itself. If you can help clarify what that looks like and how one would go about getting on board with the Bitcoin and say I am interested in, and how would you go ahead and
we got about
do
a minute
the
and a half
transaction
before break. Morpheus, can you handle that?
Well, basically, it's really super simple. Like I said, you just download the free wallet. There's lots of different wallets out there. There's Bread Wallet.
Can you get that from airbits.co?
Yeah, you can use Airbits. You can use Bread Wallet is the one I generally recommend for Apple users, and the Airbits wallet works on both Android and Apple. There's other things I like. There's something about their system I'm not really super happy with, but it's a great wallet. And then you would just basically just find someone to trade with, or you could go to Coinbase and then set up an account. You would set your account up between your bank. You would transfer funds from your bank account to Coinbase, and then Coinbase would send you the Bitcoins in about 5 to 7 days. Or you could contact somebody like me off Local Bitcoins. You do a trade, and then you just give the person the cash, and then they would transfer the Bitcoins to you once they have the cash.
And how do they contact you if they want to contact you?
Well, I recommend people going to Local Bitcoins is a good place to find me. I'm Morpheus Titania on Local Bitcoins, and you can get a hold of me there. It's got my prices on everything for, the more you do, the less it is per unit cost.
That sounds like a fairly simple process. Did that make sense to you, Jill?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, as well as being able to get the places from the various places online, what's the increase in traffic here locally? That I know you've generated a lot of new business here by getting businesses to actually take Bitcoin. What's your success rate with that?
I don't really want to answer that exactly. I mean, if there
were a market share,
geometric
what's your penetration?
I don't know, but I'd say it's a geometric progression, and it's like the adage of if you had a bacteria that could fill a petri dish in 1 hour and it doubles in size every minute, at what time is it half full?
So you're saying
it's at 59 minutes because that's when it's half full. But most people don't realize the geometric progression that takes place, and it's you're building awareness.
Okay.
So
Ray, you had something?
So as you're really saying is that as you create greater exposure, there's a greater demand, which therefore will pushes the value of the Bitcoin up. So as people participate in this type of activity, they're really enhancing their potential value.
Yeah, exactly. I've been in sales my whole life, and this is the greatest thing a person could possibly sell, because even if someone doesn't buy from me, if they buy from somebody else, there's one quanta that they're increasing the value of the Bitcoin. And so I don't have to sell everybody. I just got to show people what it's all about.
Well, we're definitely at least telling people what it's all about. So we're going to take a break here and come right back and talk a little bit more, go a little more in depth about the uses of Bitcoin. And we'll be right back with you. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Zen Benefiel with Be the Dream Transformational Life Coaching and Professional Services at BeTheDream.com. Our mission? To provide leading-edge transformational personal and business development services. Our services include life coaching, enterprise coaching, partnering facilitations, and possibilities coagulating. We've been in business since 1988. In times of massive change, you need someone who can help you adjust and transform. I can meet that challenge with you, offering a stellar skill set from serving individuals and companies for over 20 years. I invite you to peruse BeTheDream.com and put me to the test. Fill out the coaching assessment survey and give me a call. The first call is free, and you can find out if I'm what you are looking for in a coach, consultant, or service provider. Call 480-633-7179. Let your dreams mold future realities. BeTheDream.com. Are you a small business owner looking for education and information and don't have time for school? Is there an area of your business you'd like to know more about but aren't sure where to go or who to ask? Practical Biz U is an online repository of small business courses now available to you on the web. There are single class options, bundles for specific areas, and monthly memberships for ongoing learning opportunities. Go to practicalbizu.com and sign up today.
As a business owner, do you ever feel alone? I'm Ray Silverstein, founder of Pro Presidents Organization. A Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. You get this from your peers, other business owners who have resolved the issues that keep you awake at night. A Pro Peer Advisory Board is a confidential meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have owned and sold several businesses. I have walked in your shoes. I will be your mentor and tormentor, moving you ahead to achieve your goals. To a sample of free Pro Presidents meeting, email Ray at ProPres, that's R-A-Y at PROPRES.com. A Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. Email Ray at ProPres, that's R-A-Y at PROPRES.com. There is no charge or no commitment to attend.
The digital world is vast. Is it working for you? Would you like some qualified help? Zen Benefiel is a wonder with social media who leads focused and organized workshops on multiple platforms like Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. He leads by example, not theory, and teaches you how to live large and lively on the web. From blogs to SEO, his web presence speaks for itself. Take advantage of his expertise. Visit BeTheDream.com and click on Web Wizardry. Hire him while you can.
And welcome back to Two Small Biz Guys. Tonight we're talking about Bitcoins with Morpheus Titania, Ray Silverstein, and Zen Benefiel. And we've actually got another caller, Amadio, on the line that has a question. Go ahead, Amadio.
Yeah, hi, Morpheus. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Great. Well, listen, you and I have done a couple of deals in the past, but, when people listen to this and they want to start getting into Bitcoin, they're going to have to, contact somebody like you and go out and, buy some Bitcoins from you if they want to start getting into this. I was just wondering if you might want to tell people, how your trades have gone. I mean, how do you find the people in general that you're dealing with? Because, you're dealing with a fair amount of cash there, and how has that sort of thing gone for you?
Well, to be honest with you, my trades are super duper positive, and the people that I've met for the most part in Bitcoin are really off the scale as far as their integrity and their honesty and ability to communicate. Very high level people. I get blown away by the level of people that this attracts.
Well, you mentioned earlier that a lot of them want to be anonymous.
Mm-hmm. It's pseudo-anonymous.
Okay.
Well, one other aspect, when somebody wants to buy Bitcoins from you,
Yes.
Is there a market that's established, or do you charge a commission on top of that market? How does that work?
It's just like, I like to say, it's just like every other business in the world. You got to buy it at a discount and sell at a margin, and that's what I do. And the beautiful thing is, my warehouse is my cell phone. Not that they're stored on the phone; they're actually stored on this blockchain that's distributed all around the world. But the phone acts the app on the phone acts as a portal to be able to interface with that ledger. And so the amount of trades that I've done, there's a lot of them. And the amount of people that I have encountered that have been negative, I could put on like 2 fingers, really, 2 or 3. And they haven't really been that bad, but I know how to handle myself, so I generally am able to detect if someone is a scam artist. And I have been scammed. I will take that. I have been bit, and that brought me down a couple notches. And I'm very grateful that I was scammed at a low number, because the thing is with Bitcoin is you have to be very, very hyper aware of what you're doing, because you can transfer every bit of your wealth to someone else in an instant if you're not very careful. And that's, with great freedom comes great responsibility.
I just want to know what fingers you stored these people on.
Oh, yeah.
We've got another caller, Amber from Mesa, with a question or comment. Go ahead. Amber?
I think Amber is into something other than Bitcoins.
Yeah.
And
there,
I
there
was
she is.
wondering, hi, I'm very interested in Bitcoin because I've been hearing a lot about it. And I was wondering, is there any way to find out what businesses are accepting Bitcoin as payment?
Morpheus had mentioned a website that you can go to that has listings of everybody in Arizona and more, which is airbitz.co. That's airbitz.co.
There's also quite a few online websites that take it. I know I was able to book my trip to Austin, Texas for the Austin Bitcoin Conference, or the Texas Bitcoin Conference, through Expedia.
Airlines are taking it? Or Expedia?
Well, through Expedia is taking it. You have Tiger Direct, Overstock.com, Newegg, Dell. I believe also OkCupid is taking it, as well as there's another one that's taking it, and I'm looking for it. But there's quite a few. The D's Casino in Las Vegas, the big players are taking it. The beautiful thing about this technology is it allows the little guy to compete with the big guy, because the little guy, there's thousands of these people running around with thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoins that they want to spend, and these Bitcoins can be interchanged for dollars. So if you have a business and you want more customers, all you have to do is to take Bitcoin and say, I take Bitcoin, but get a wallet, and then now you're starting to take Bitcoin. Now it can be automated very easily, but it takes, that can be also done through technology.
Awesome. We've got a couple more callers. You got a quick comment, Ray?
I have a quick question. Is there a charge for this wallet?
No, it's free. They're all free.
Free is good. All right. So we've got a couple more callers. Let's start with Ryan from Glendale.
Yes, how are you guys doing tonight? I've heard a little bit about these Bitcoins. Now, the question I have is, obviously you can buy them and sell them. Is it the denomination just run with whatever amount you buy originally?
Well, actually, they fluctuate. It's almost like a stock, but the difference between Bitcoin and a stock is that in order to trade stocks, you have to have the stock broker involved. Like, let's say you have AT&T and I want to buy AT&T. I can't just go over and give you some money and buy your AT&T stock. It has to go to the broker. Broker makes a commission on both sides of the trade. Well, with Bitcoin, it's peer-to-peer, so one person can trade with another person. And the progression of Bitcoin, it's been very volatile, but if you look at the overall dimension of it, where it started back in January 2009 and then reached $1,151 on November 29, 2013, and then it's kind of come down, and now it's around the $300, $400 range. if you step back far enough, you'll see that the overall trend is in the up direction, which is what it's designed to do. The way, by being something that's modeled on scarcity, it is designed to go up in value as more people accept it.
So there's 14 million Bitcoins available now with a maximum of 21 million. So that kind of gives you an idea of how...
So basically, it's almost like buying 1 ounce of gold. It varies from day to day. Now, the question I have is, say I go to a vendor and put something with a Bitcoin. Is there any kind of tax or any kind of extra fee tacked onto it for using that type of transaction?
No, there's no extra fee. I mean, you're actually going to pay less because let's say, for example, the first known trade was done on May 22nd, 2010. A guy traded 10,000 Bitcoins for $25 worth of pizza. Well, now those Bitcoins today are worth about $4 million. So basically, you could buy a $4 million house if you bought those Bitcoins 5 years ago for $25.
Ninja, here we come. Or was it
right
Ninja?
Now would be a good idea. So say I use whatever money I have, I buy so many Bitcoins, sit on them, and then sometime in the future, you reckon that Bitcoin is now worth 10 times what I paid for it.
They could very well.
Swan, I see you in the queue. We'll be back in just a few moments, and thanks for the call. We'll be right back with you with two small biz guys from 1100 KFNX Independent Talk Radio.
Documented immigrants from deportation has suffered a legal setback today. A decision from the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has upheld an injunction blocking the plan from being implemented. The White House's only choice now is to make an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. Two top officials at the University of Missouri are stepping down following accusations of mishandling racial incidents on campus. University of Missouri President Tim Wolf turned in his resignation today.
I take full responsibility for this frustration, and I take full responsibility for the inaction that has occurred.
More major retailers are planning to open their doors on Thanksgiving. Target, Macy's, and Sears stores will open at 6 p.m. Thanksgiving, while Toys R Us is going for an even earlier start time at 5 p.m. Staples and H&M have decided not to open on Thanksgiving, and outdoor chain REI will keep its door closed on Black Friday as well. I'm Ann Cates.
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center for tonight, mostly clear. The overnight low 53. Sunshine on Tuesday. Our high is going to get up to 65 Tuesday night. Clear skies. The overnight low 44. Then for your Veterans Day, sunny and 66. I'm Chuck Taylor from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently, in downtown Phoenix, it's 70 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Hi, I'm Zen Benefiel with Be the Dream Transformational Life Coaching and Professional Services at BeTheDream.com. Our mission? To provide leading-edge transformational personal and business development services. Our services include life coaching, enterprise coaching, partnering facilitations, and possibilities coagulating. We've been in business since 1988. In times of massive change, you need someone who can help you adjust and transform. I can meet that challenge with you, offering a stellar skill set from serving individuals and companies for over 20 years. I invite you to peruse BeTheDream.com and put me to the test. Fill out the coaching assessment survey and give me a call. The first call is free, and you can find out if I'm what you are looking for in a coach, consultant, or service provider. Call 480-633-7179. Let your dreams mold future realities. BeTheDream.com.
As a business owner, do you ever feel alone? Hi, I'm Ray Silverstein, founder of Pro Presidents Organization. I know business owners want to call their own shots, make appropriate income, and control their destiny. At Pro, our passion is to help you achieve your goals. A Pro peer advisory board meeting is just the thing. It takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. It's a confidential monthly meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have walked in your shoes. I have owned and sold several businesses. I will be your mentor and tormentor to move you forward. When you have issues or opportunities that keep you awake at night, where do you get your help? Pro boards give support and non-biased feedback from your peers. To sample a free Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting, email ray@propres.com. That's ray@propres.com. ray@propres.com. There's no charge and no commitment to attend.
Are you a small business owner looking for education and information and don't have time for school? Is there an area of your business you'd like to know more about but aren't sure where to go or who to ask? Practical Biz U is an online repository of small business courses now available to you on the web. There are single class options, bundles for specific areas, and monthly memberships for ongoing learning opportunities. Go to practicalbizu.com and sign up today.
Hey, and welcome back to this bouncing Bitcoin bantering.
Bitcoin.
And we're having a great time here in the studio. We got Swan from Camp Verde waiting. That sounds like Brindle. Go ahead. Are you there? No, I think he's gone.
This is David.
All right. Hey, David.
Hey, David from Anthem. How are you?
We're great.
Great.
We're Bitcoining.
I have actually a statement. I had a question, but I had a statement first. I've dabbled in Bitcoin, and I think it's a remarkable technology. My aha moment personally was when I discovered that the supply would be limited forever at 21 million Bitcoins, and no single actor could cheat the system. And Morpheus, if you could kind of touch on why that is and how that's designed so that, there are always hackers and people trying to cheat the system. But
with the mics on, we were talking about that on break.
Yeah.
You must have had an earbud going in here. Well, so the idea is that it's a fixed supply of Bitcoins, and I could go into all money has 6 properties, and the 6 properties are it's got to be scarce, durable, hard to counterfeit, portable, divisible, and then money is a storage of value. So it by having a scarcity built in, it retains its value because you can't create these Bitcoins out of nothing. Same thing with gold and silver. They cannot be just created out of nothing. Whereas the federal government, and in fact every government I can think of, they like to create money out of nothing because then that way they get to pay off their loans with cheaper money. So that works out.
You raise the debt ceiling.
Right. And so it creates what it does is it dilutes the money supply that's available.
So what would cause the 14 million to go up to the 21 million?
Well, it's done on a process called Bitcoins are created in a process called mining, which is a verification process. So let's say, for example, I write you a check, you put it in your bank, they send it to my bank, and then they collect my funds, and then they give it to you, and then you have the money, you can spend it. That's a clearing process of the bank.
Right.
And what this has done is the Federal Reserve is a very, 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 very expensive accounting service. And being all money it's a construct of the mind, and so it's when you have a piece of paper, it's a token of in this accounting system that the Federal Reserve has locked away in their vaults. They don't really have any money. It's all just these digits that exist on a spreadsheet
it used to be
somewhere.
Backed by silver, then gold, then diamonds, and now we really don't know.
Well, the Coinage Act of 1792 says that $1 is worth 371.25 grains of silver, and that law has never been repealed. But what we use today are not dollars, they're Federal Reserve notes. So we have this criminal organization known as the Federal Reserve, and they run around, they create money out of nothing, and then they buy the bonds from the United States, and then they write checks and put the checks in the Treasury, and oh my God, now we have the money. So this system is a counterfeiting scandal is what it is. And I'm very opposed to this system because
we all participate.
Well, we all participate, but the reason why we participate is because they have monopoly. Now, if you take away their monopoly, their whole system, now it's under pressure. That's why the system being the way it is, the banks own the government, and the government give the licenses to the media, so the media has to do whatever the banks say.
Let's go back to the question that Zen asked about the creation or the distribution of the additional 7 million Bitcoin?
Okay, so I guess I got a little off track there.
Well, we have to slap you out at times.
Okay, everyone, you can torment me a little bit. Anyway,
take his soapbox away for a moment.
Yeah. So anyway, the system, the way it functions is when we do that clearing process, that's how the Federal Reserve, they make their money. Well, in Bitcoin, it's done by a computer, and this computer has to solve a very complex algorithm, so to speak. It's called SHA-256, and when it has to have a certain amount of zeros in front of the number in order to be the solved number. Now, it's very hard. The only way to find this solution is to try number 1, try number 2, try number 3, on and on and on until they find the solution. And then once that solution is found, it's very easy to check it, but very hard to solve it. So it would be once it's solved, then that would be a block that would go into the blockchain, and all the transactions that are in that block are then considered to be verified. With Bitcoin, I can send you Bitcoins on your wallet, but you can't spend them until you have at least one confirmation. Now, there's some services that require more than one confirmation, but generally one confirmation you can spend the Bitcoins. But until that confirmation comes through, you can't spend them.
So with computations being near light speed, about how long does it take to get those confirmations?
What does a confirmation mean?
Well, let me go for one
Even
question.
Better, yeah.
Let's go for your question.
That's a 1-2
first.
punch from the two guys.
The way it works is that the system continually gets harder, because as we move further and further and further into the future, computers are going to get faster and faster and faster. I mean, look at what we had from an 8088 to what we have now. The amount of computational power is how many thousands?
Quintuple.
Whatever the number is. So anyway, what Bitcoin does is by making what Bitcoin does is in order to every 14 days, I believe it's 2,000 blocks, the Bitcoin difficulty resets to a new number that's usually more difficult. The more
it's like a random number generator that protects itself.
Kind of. That's one way to look at it.
I'm trying to look at it that simple way, because the way you explained it made my mind hurt.
Okay. Well, the thing with
and that takes a lot.
The thing is with Bitcoin, you could literally get on the computer and start researching Bitcoin, and you could be there for a month and solid, and you would still have stuff to think about, because there's so many intricacies with this system, but yet it's actually very, if you want to know all the nuances, you can get on the internet and
find out.
But the simple way is that, I have value that I can transfer to anyone that has a Bitcoin address, and I can send them any amount of money that I control to anyone, anywhere in the world, and they can spend it in 10 minutes.
But
roughly.
Going back to the basic question, if you transfer me Bitcoins, I need a confirmation to spend it.
Right.
What is a confirmation, and how do I get it?
This is done through the mining process. So this when you take all the transactions and you put them into into a SHA-256 equation, it basically creates what they call a hash. And this hash that's what it's called. It's a number.
Corned beef?
Yeah, kind of. So it creates a alphanumeric sequence of numbers.
Oh no, it's coined beef.
Yeah, something like that. So it creates this series of numbers and letters, and if you put a comma in there, it will change the output. Okay, and what the way the mining process works is the code says that the miner has to find a specific number of zeros in the left side of this hash.
And so basically, what you're saying is there's this computer computation that permeates or permutates through a variety of sources in order to verify that this person has made the transaction.
Right, and there's so many computers running this. That's correct. That's one way to look at it. There's so many computers that are running this particular function.
Trying to make a complex story simple.
Yeah.
And we've got another caller coming in, too. All right, so, Brendel, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
All right.
Hey, Brendel. So, Brendel, I know Brendel.
Hey, Morpheus.
Do you have a question or comment or statement?
Not too much on the question. Several comments. One is then I just sent you $5 electronically from a service called Change Tip, and they started to make it easy to send little amounts of Bitcoin in things called tips that you can give names like a cup of coffee or a beer, and then you decide it's worth.
Woohoo! Okay, so tell me how I would retrieve that.
No, he's interested.
Basically follow a link. What I sent you was $5 in schmeckles.
You're going to go to Ninja, I know, right away.
Yeah, so you don't have to go to Ninja. The $5 that I sent you is actually not Bitcoin at the moment. Change Tip started supporting fiat, so you can actually cash out of that with PayPal, or you can just go and get a gift card with it. It's just $5 you can use. But if you want to get into Bitcoin, they will let you convert it to Bitcoin, and then you can get a wallet or talk to anybody. But in the meantime, you can just keep it there, and it's one of the easiest ways to get into Bitcoin is that. And another.
Well, I know that Brendel is into the altcoins. So there's these. I don't know if we talked about altcoins in the show.
So altcoins have to be old coins.
Well, they're ALT.
Alternative.
Then so I know
Bitcoin.
Brendel is a fan of a different coin, and they're all. I think that's actually it's like if you have someone wants to copy you, that means you're on the right track. So
and one could be full of Schmidt.
Exactly.
Imitation's the finest form of flattery.
Yes, I have invented Schmidt coin, and that will be launching soon. I'm kind of doing a soft launch now, which I call the flaccid launch of Schmidt coin, and that's got some advantages to Bitcoin. But
you're so punny.
Bitcoin, you have to get started with. Bitcoin is the one that gets you into all the others if you need to. And there is a chance that a new technology will come along and make Bitcoin more of a long-term store of value, which I think is something you guys haven't talked too much about tonight.
Well, according to the Wall Street Journal, let me just pick up where I left off. The ledger system is called blockchain. Venture capitalists and Wall Street banks have been investing in the technology, betting it could more efficiently and securely handle things like settlements, securities transactions, or even cross-border payments. So this is huge.
Or can be.
Well, I've heard it
put
said
a lot of venture capital into it.
I've heard it said that if either goods and services will cross borders or troops will.
Right. Well, it has been at least achieved so much potential and notoriety that the perceived potential landed blockchain on the covers of major magazines just recently, even last month.
It was on The Economist just like 10 days ago.
Okay.
Cover of The Economist.
So it's a viable, real, manageable, new kind of exchange that could be really exciting.
I find it, I'm like jumping out of my skin every day.
Oh.
That's why you keep disappearing.
Yeah.
All right. So, Ray, you had some more questions.
Well, the question I really had was...
Did you have any more comments first, Brendel?
I could talk probably as long as Morpheus.
I know you could.
I guess I won't. I did want to mention just spending Bitcoin is very simple. You don't have to worry about all that math of confirmation. If I use it to buy something at Tiger Direct or at Dell or Microsoft online, it confirms instantly. I don't have to, I'm not waiting. Every once in a while you have to wait a few minutes for something, but in general it's very fast. And
pretty
you don't
much
have to worry
no
about
longer
the
than you'd
math.
have to wait for a credit card transaction.
Yeah, but one of the biggest uses for people is not necessarily spending it. It's being able to, how do you get your wealth across borders if you ever need to? If you ever need to get to Mexico or Chile and take a fair amount of money with you. With Bitcoin, you can do something called, you can put it on a paper wallet. You can put it on a piece of paper, and it's not stored on any computer anywhere. Or you can even do something called a brain wallet, and you can move money across borders really simply, and you can also store it for the long term very simply.
Great. Thanks for your comments, Brendel.
Yep, I guess that's it.
All right, thanks, man.
That's one of the topics we were talking about during the break, is that when people are concerned about governmental regulations or the currency regulations in a given country, how you can possibly move currency. And one of the benefits of this is that since it's so digital, you can move it very quickly, and it will. But I'm just kind of curious, though, since you're involved with this activity, do you have a concern about liquidity in your own activity? Because do you carry most of your worth in Bitcoins, or do you have some dollars?
I keep all my liquidity in Bitcoins.
He's got a lot of sense.
I'm all in. I mean, I'm all into it, literally. And what I do is I basically look at my net worth in terms of Bitcoin.
So on that coinish note,
coinish,
we're going to have a coinish game hen. So we're going to be right back in just a few moments after these commercial messages.
Hi, I'm Zen Benefiel with Be the Dream Transformational Life Coaching and Professional Services at BeTheDream.com. Our mission? To provide leading-edge transformational personal and business development services. Our services include life coaching, enterprise coaching, partnering facilitations, and possibilities coagulating. We've been in business since 1988. In times of massive change, you need someone who can help you adjust and transform. I can meet that challenge with you, offering a stellar skill set from serving individuals and companies for over 20 years. I invite you to peruse BeTheDream.com and put me to the test. Fill out the coaching assessment survey and give me a call. The first call is free, and you can find out if I'm what you are looking for in a coach, consultant, or service provider. Call 480-633-7179. Let your dreams mold future realities. BeTheDream.com.
As a business owner, do you ever feel alone? Hi, I'm Ray Silverstein, founder of Pro Presidents Organization. I know business owners want to call their own shots, make appropriate income, and control their destiny. At Pro, our passion is to help you achieve your goals. A Pro peer advisory board meeting is just the thing. It takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. It's a confidential monthly meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have walked in your shoes. I have owned and sold several businesses. I will be your mentor and tormentor to move you forward. When you have issues or opportunities that keep you awake at night, where do you get your help? Pro boards give support and non-biased feedback from your peers. To sample a free Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting, email ray@propres.com. That's ray@propres.com. ray@propres.com. There's no charge and no commitment to attend.
Are you a small business owner looking for education and information and don't have time for school? Is there an area of your business you'd like to know more about but aren't sure where to go or who to ask? Practical Biz U is an online repository of small business courses now available to you on the web. There are single class options, bundles for specific areas, and monthly memberships for ongoing learning opportunities. Go to practicalbizu.com and sign up today. The digital world is vast. Is it working for you? Would you like some qualified help? Zen Benefiel is a wonder with social media who leads focused and organized workshops on multiple platforms like Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. He leads by example, not theory, and teaches you how to live large and lively on the web. From blogs to SEO, his web presence speaks for itself. Take advantage of his expertise. Visit BeTheDream.com and click on Web Wizardry. Hire him while you can.
And welcome back to Two Small Biz Guys. We got a couple callers on the line. We'll get to you in just a moment. On the break, we were having a question about the investability in the Bitcoin. And
we were also talking about the confidence aspect as to the possibility of counterfeiting, that somebody sends you a fallacious Bitcoin. So what are the protections for the buyer of getting these coins to make sure that they're really being legitimate other than the confirmation aspect?
Okay, so in Bitcoin, it's impossible to have a counterfeit transaction. I mean, if when somebody's trading me Bitcoins for dollars, I look at the bills and make sure that they're real, or real, whatever that means, but they're not counterfeit. But with Bitcoin, because of the technology, because it continually gets harder and more difficult to create the Bitcoins, you would have to, in order to crack the code, the SHA-256 is 2 to the 256 power. So if you took the entire output of the sun and ran it into it, no, I'm serious. If you took the entire output of the sun,
don't talk about my son that way.
You took the entire output of the sun and ran it into a computer that ran into limits of thermodynamics, and you could harness every single joule of energy that the sun put out. The sun would burn out before the computer could count to that number. It's that big. There's only 10 to the 68th particles in the universe, so it's you really have, until quantum computing comes around, it's going to be impossible to have.
Let's go back to the basic aspects. So if I do get scammed, what recourse do I have?
Well, there is no recourse. Okay, so the thing to keep in mind is with great power comes great responsibility, and there are people out there who will attempt to scam you. I mean, I've had it happen. My name is out there in a lot of different forums, so I get calls or people contacting me all the time, and they want to do a transaction. Like last night, I had this guy Joe, and he said he wanted to do a transaction in Venmo. Okay, so first of all, he wanted to do a transaction in Venmo, and I'm like, first red flag. And then he said, "Well,
I've done transactions in Venmo."
Okay, well, I'm just telling you, first red flag. Second thing he tells me is that he's not in Arizona. Second red flag. Third red flag is that he says, I ask him, how did you find me? He goes, through some guys, but I don't remember who their names were. Third red flag. Then I get a text from one of my customers, and he says this guy tried to call me, wanted to buy an obscene amount of bitcoins, and then he told him, 20% over, and then that's 4 and 5. So after I had that in my pocket, I knew for sure this guy wanted to scam me. So I immediately told him to have a nice day, in other words, and that was the end of the conversation. But with this technology, you have to be very aware, because you can transfer every coin you have to someone else, and there's nothing that you can stop it. Like if we do a transaction,
we got that.
If we do a transaction, and I always verify the account number, because once I hit send, that's where the bitcoins are going to, and there's no way to stop it.
So it's like the send email button. You can't pull it out of your outbox before it's sent. It's
the
gone.
amazing thing about Bitcoin is it's right now it's about a $5 billion ecosystem, and the entire system functions with zero human intervention. That's amazing.
It truly is. Now we got a couple more callers. Savannah, we'll get to you in just a moment. We had Matt from Tempe in front of you. Matt, comment, question? Are you there?
Moses, do you see the FEC, being more lenient or set up any policies over Bitcoin? Anytime soon?
It's hard for me to really say. I do my best to stay away from those guys as much as I can. Is this Matt Papke?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you ran a campaign in Tempe, huh? And you were taking Bitcoin in your campaign, right?
I did. We used BitPay to do that.
And how'd that work out for you?
It was good. We had several, probably 10 donors sending Bitcoins, and it was kind of difficult because there were no real campaign finance laws that were really in place, so we never held on to the Bitcoin.
So that brings in a new question. So what about the clean campaigns? Would Bitcoin be a better way to run clean campaigns? All right. Anyway, anything more, Matt?
No, I was just curious, if Morpheus saw any movement, from the FEC or anybody like that to regulate or disallow Bitcoins.
Doesn't seem to be anything coming from them yet, from what he was saying. So, Savannah, how about you? Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
Yeah, that was interesting, Matt. I enjoyed that. Also, I have a question. If you have, is Bitcoin going to be alleviating possibly paper money?
Well, people still do trades. I mean, people still do barter, even though we don't need to do it. People still use gold and silver to do trades, even though it's kind of antiquated. I believe that it's going to be a phase out over time. I don't know how it's all going to play out, but the thing I keep in mind is that we're going in the direction of more convenience, and in order for the dollar is going down in value.
Speaking of convenience, you pay your rent in Bitcoin.
Yes, I do. My landlord was the first person to tell me about Bitcoin, and this was when it was about $6. He told me about it, but unfortunately, he gave them to me, and he said, download this app and put these Bitcoins on your computer. I'm going to send you some Bitcoins, and I'm like, okay. And so I downloaded the app, put it on my computer, and there we were. And I'm like, okay, now what? I didn't get it. He should have put me in a headlock. I don't want to shit on anybody, but I would have rather he would have put me in a headlock and beat me into submission, because he told me about them when they were $6. I had to wait till they were like 36 before I got in.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, I have a friend in California, and she just heard about this, and she wants to start investing. So where would you suggest she start?
Well, I recommend Local Bitcoins. That's probably one of the best sites. It has feedback on there. You can go to your local area and look up Local Bitcoins, and they'll tell you the people with the different rankings and how they and then they can just, you transact business with people that have a rating system, kind of like eBay.
Okay.
And one thing I'd like to add before I get off the phone is there is one presidential candidate that's taking Bitcoin. His name is Rand Paul.
All right, so that's another opportunity. You're welcome, Savannah. Thanks for calling in. Ray, do you have any final comments about this?
Well, when we started the program, I knew nothing, and I found it very interesting as to the aspect. We didn't get involved with the IRS circumstances, which also sounds very interesting. Morpheus is making faces when I raise that issue.
Well, I think that needs to be handled.
Again.
It needs to be handled by someone who knows something about that.
Well, thanks so much for coming in the studio, Morpheus, and thank you all for listening. We're out for now.